Yo, what up, everybody? It's Bones DK Golf. We're back here with Wildman to go over the Genesis Invitational first look and preview. Wildman, what's going on?
Back from the hiatus, ready for a big 2021. Let's do it.
Yeah, we are back. It's been a busy holiday, but golf is heating up right now. Daniel Berger coming off a massive win. Just found out he did withdraw from the tournament. Probably still celebrating from that eagle putt he hit, 30-footer last week. But yeah, we're at Riviera this week in Los Angeles, just outside of Los Angeles. The Genesis Invitational. What do you know about this course?
Tough track, par 71, which means that there is one less par 5 than normal. So there's only three par 5s. It's over 7,300 yards, though, so it's one of the longer courses. And you're just going to see heavy hitters not only in the field but up near the top of the leaderboard. Looking back at this, you've got five of the last six winners are major champs. So, you're looking at big time players. It's a major type field at the top there with DJ, Rom, Rory, Xander, all these guys. So buckle up and back who you think is going to win it.
Yeah, man, this is a stacked field. This is something we've been waiting for and looking for. Starting off the top, DJ, our boy, our guy at 11-3, followed up by JT, Rory, Rom, and DeChambeau wrapping up the 10K. I'm going to tell you, Bryson DeChambeau is the guy that sticks out immediately to me here. You say bombers tend to favor here, and this guy just seems to be a little cheap at 10-1. I wouldn't mind starting my lineups this week with him.
Yeah, he's the ultimate bomber, right? If that's the route you're going to go, it's hard to overlook him, especially at you can't really argue DJ, right? I mean, he's our boy. He's really the GOAT right now. Got an awesome history here. But when you're looking at him versus DeChambeau, and you're getting DeChambeau at 10,100 in this event. That's a bargain, man, for this guy, especially on a long track.
Yeah, he's the guy that sticks out to me right away. Again, you have massive names around him, but just sticking out right there, Bryson. I actually might bet him to win. I think I saw him at plus 1,200 on DraftKings Sportsbook. But we're going to go down to the $9,000 range here where it's stacked as well. Starting off with Xander, who's just playing incredible golf right now. Brooks Koepka coming off the recent win. Patrick Cantlay in incredible form. Colin Morikawa there, who I think is going to be overlooked in this tournament, or at least I hope he's going to be overlooked because I like this guy this week. You have Daniel Berger there. Recently withdrawing, and then Tony Finau, who I think is a top dog there. Again, a stacked field. Anyone that stick out there for you?
Well, this is a big, big range here because you got a lot of guys that could really win the tournament. You could bet any of these guys any week they're in a field as probably a favorite to win. And none of them really have extraordinary course history. I'd say Cantlay probably has the best of that 9K range. But yeah, I mean, you're really going to have to pick your horses here. And, what they've done, not to bring it back to DJ, but they've put DJ so far out in front that they're kind of saying, if you're playing DJ, you're going to be packing in these lower-owned guys. So the real tournament begins here at this, 10-7 to 9-5 range where you're getting a lot of guys that can win.
Yeah, it's very tempting to do a more balanced build this week. I mean, I think you could start almost with Morikawa here and get guys in here like Adam Scott, Neiman, Hovland there in the high 8 range, Scotty Scheffler, maybe Will Zalatoris, guys like that. But then then you go to the top and you realize you're fading all those top guys. It's kind of an interesting week how you should build. Do you have any take on how you're going to build your lineup this week?
Here's an interesting way to look at a longer course. And if you've played golf, you're going to know this, obviously. Keeping it in the fairway levels the playing field. So the reason why you tend to favor these bombers is when they get a little squirrely off the tee and go into the rough, they just got less distance to make up. So a guy like Morikawa, whose bread and butter really is like down the pipe and money irons, if he keeps it in the fairway, he's got as good a chance to anybody to win. But his probability is probably a little bit lower because it's hard to hit every fairway. Yeah, I think, like I said, there's plenty of guys to fill in here. I mean, you're looking down at Zalatoris. I think you mentioned him at 8,300.
Yep.
He's a guy that's got top tens in majors and pretty much top tens everywhere he's been playing over the last year and a half, if you include the Corn Ferry Tour. He's a guy at 8,300. That's a bargain. And then right below him is Matthew Wolff, who's not in great form right now, but has contended at majors, has won on the PGA Tour. He's still like 23 years old, and his game off the tee is the best on the planet when he's clicking. So a couple guys right there in the 8K range that you could pair up with one of these $10,000 guys. And by the way, by no means am I saying fade DJ.
I don't think you said anything about fading DJ. I love him this week. Matthew Wolff is very interesting. He's a little scary to me. He just withdrew with that little injury not too long ago. So I see what you're saying about Wolff. I just don't know if I'm going to get there this week. Around this range is Max Homa. He has good history here. He's in great form. They said the Wells Fargo is a corollary course, and he won there last year. So this guy just seems to be in form. He's a little high priced. I wish he was in the $7,000 range, but I'm definitely going to look at him. And yeah, Big Z. He let me down last week. I mean, he made the cut, but I chose him over Berger. So, not the right decision after that dub. So that one hurt, but I might go back to him. I think he's going to be low owned, and I paid up pretty high for him. So I like where his got a little price decrease there. Yeah, and then we're gonna pop down to the $7,000 range. It's just the first look. We're gonna get the top picks podcast out next week. Or tomorrow, excuse me. We're gonna get it out tomorrow, but I just wanted to get first look and just what we're thinking here for the followers, the listeners. And the first guy I'm gonna look at here is Carlos Ortiz, El Amigo. Never missed a cut here, and this guy is playing great, coming off of fourth place. I've been playing this guy for years, and he's finally just getting up in price. I love this guy, Carlos Ortiz.
What is El Amigo Spanish for? The friend?
Yes, he is my friend.
No, he's good. He's a great POA greens putter, and he's a bomber too. He's really deceptive off the tee. How long he is. So I like him. I think when you come down to this range, it depends on what kind of contest you're playing. If you're playing these low buy-in mega runner GPPs, like $5, $10, $12 buy-ins that have 10,000 people in them, you're better off getting a little more risky. And when you look at ranges like this, there's a clear difference in some of these players. Like you've got Lanto Griffin, local guy, who's won on the PGA Tour and has been playing pretty well. Right below him, you got Hadwin, who's got good course history here, President's Cup player. And then, those guys versus like the Postons and the Taylor Gooches, who also maybe there's an argument for. I would kind of lean towards that riskier play, the bigger contest you're playing, to try to get some ownership difference there. If you're playing smaller cash games or bigger buy-ins with lower fields, then I tend to, go the Lanto Griffin route over the Taylor Gooch route, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. You want to avoid, chalky plays, especially down in this range where anything can happen. Obviously I'm just going straight to Cam Davis. I mean, $7,500. He was $9,000 last week, coming off a 14th place. I don't know why people don't like. I mean, DraftKings just doesn't respect this guy. He should be 9,000 again. He's going to get 20 birdies, and I know he's 0 for 1 here and made cuts, but he's got to prove me wrong before I don't load him up at $7,500.
I've tried to fade this guy. I've been burnt literally every time. Of course, he was, part of some of the bigger wins we've had, but he could be like the logo for DraftKings golf, literally. He piles up birdies. He's the walking example of how a birdie and a bogey is better than two pars. And he tends to keep making cuts and scoring more points than everybody, even when he's finishing like 29th in a tournament, which he often does. So 7,500 all day long.
Yes, Cameron Davis is also 4th in DraftKings point scoring this year so far. So give me that price cut. I've seen guys miss the cut before and then come in 5th place the next year at the same tournament. So I'm not going to I'm going to not look too much into that. There's a lot of guys we can talk about. And again, we're going to get the top picks podcast out next tomorrow. So, is there anyone you want to highlight in the cheaper range real quick, Wildman, before we get out of here? And we will have the top picks tomorrow with Wildman, possibly Edge, to talk about each player individually.
I'll give you 2 guys here. Both of them have made 5 straight cuts here. One of them is Sung Kang. He's 6,500. He was a runner-up here last year. He's got another top 10, another top 20 at this course over the last 5 years. Just seems to be a guy that plays well at Riviera for whatever reason. And then the other guy would be Charles Howell. I think he's a little over where I'd like him to be, but he's won this event before. And, a guy that's made like 17 of 18 cuts here. So he'll probably make the cut. But then again, he's getting a little older, so I would take coin flip on him. But he can make some noise.
What tournament was that where Hal made like every cut? It was only a couple weeks ago, and he actually missed the cut. So it doesn't. I don't.
Sony Open, I think.
Yeah, Sony Open. So he's not in great form. The one guy I noticed just looking at course history alone was actually Vaughn Taylor. Randomly enough, you talk about accurate hitters. Peep his history. I think he's made 4 straight cuts here, coming off a 21st at the Pebble Beach and 17 birdies. So just someone, if you have one person left in your lineup around $6,700, I'd definitely give him a strong look. Hey, Wildman, thank you for joining us tonight. I know we're both busy, but let's upload that video tomorrow with the top picks on the Genesis Invitational. But great first look. Thank you for all your intel. Is there anything else you want to add?
I'm going to say early prediction. Early prediction is Rahm is lurking and Rahm is going to win. That might change tomorrow, but that's my play right now.
Wow. Well, I'm leaning DeChambeau to win this right now. That's my first look. So Rahm and DeChambeau are our top picks right now. We'll see how that turns out. Wildman, thank you. We'll talk tomorrow.
Peace.
All right, later.